Hey everyone, this is Jaxie, and welcome back to Let's Play Close Combat Gateway to Caen. And today we are doing the next battle in our Operation Counterblow, and hopefully it will go better than the first one. The first one was technically a minor defeat, but we did take some points so we can open up the terrain a little more, have better deployment. I have a tank advantage again, I have an infantry advantage again, and hopefully this one will go better. And if you notice here in the south, it's much more open. So there is still Bocage cover. I can put the infantry, but I should actually be able to bring all four of my panzers to bear. I can do bases of fire. They can mutually support each other. It's not that horrible narrow lane and not having to come through and crash through hedgerows and hope I don't get ambushed. It's not easy. I mean, if the British set up in good defensive positions, this could still be tough, but I'm a lot more hopeful on this one, guys. And right now, I'm just doing my initial setup. I really want to stick to cover and then use the move fast to try to get across some of these fields. Now, there's decent cover back here, but I have to be on the attack. In the beginning of Counterblow, you have to take territory and move forward. A little bit later, and I don't know because the strategic map flashed real quickly, the Allies will counterattack with armor, but for now, I'm the one with the panzers. I'm the one trying to take territory. So I'm going to set up my initial orders, and I want to push up as much as possible, kind of like before. As I get across these fields, my goal in an operation, because it's not just a one-off based on victory points, I want to be able to continue to have better deployment if this fight takes more than one round. And with that, I'm making sure in the north I have a couple sections worth of men, couple total squads when you combine the sections, supported by one panzer. That panzer should have good overwatch. I have 3 down here. This is really going to be my hammer blow. I'm hoping the men in the middle can advance through that hedgerow, kind of just skirt along it for the duration. The men in the south are going to fan out and try to start taking some of those hard points in the south. With 3 panzers covering them, we should have smoke options. We should have machine gun options. Now, with the 4 panzers, the one downside, I don't have any artillery. And if there is some sort of anti-tank gun, which, I can see that there's not, but anything tough, anyone dug in, I'm really just kind of on my own. And now we're hit and go. I have enough of a plan. I'm going to move these men slowly up. I have my panzers creeping, and I'm deploying my infantry in the south. I want to get some of these flags, and oh, wow, the British are deployed so far forward. Anytime I've played on this map set, they are back. They're near that center, and down here, the sunken road is going to where they're going to make their stand. So I'm bringing in a 2nd Panzer. Luckily, even though my men are getting shot at, they have cover. The hedgerows, it's as good a place to get ambushed as possible, not when they're crossing the field or the road. And now in the north, I gotta make some moves because the south, until I get that 2nd Panzer IV, I just don't know. Looking ahead, ooh, mortars are coming in. So I have one group across the field that's good. They can set up a base of fire and cover us if we try to move further to the east. Found men in trenches, and at least that Panzer IV is going to lay down some heavy fire. I do have one section out in the open that makes me kind of nervous. This Panzer that was supposed to push forward, they're smart. They're on the other side of that hedgerow. He's really not going to do anything. I have to call some artillery support. I know they have multiple sections there. And this fight is starting to get intense. I'm getting contact in multiple places. Those guys caught out in the open, but keep your heads down. Let the tank do the work. It's the reason it's the 9th SS Panzer. And they're taking fire, but they can't fire back. They're going to hunker down. Ooh, even in the north, those guys are taking some heavy fire. I'm going to see if I can get a flank on those trenches. Hopefully don't bump into anything in the house. My artillery is coming in. It's wonderful. And I'm slowly trying to redeploy those panzers. This Panzer IV, he's under artillery fire. The way he's moving his turret, he actually does have sight on those trenches. That's why I'm trying to bring the other tank unit in, and now he's firing. So now machine gun support, we're getting 75mm support. My heavy mortars are coming in, and that Bocage again. Don't know if you guys can tell there, but that Panzer IV has thrown a track, and it's going to be stuck in that hedgerow. It can still fire as long as the British stay on that road down there, but oof, I have not been having luck, and that's why I put the tagline on the thumbnail, Breaking the Bocage, because this is the story. And this is why this game is both frustrating but kind of wonderful. It's not always fun to do operations like this, but it gives you a really good appreciation of what the generals and the commanders had to... heavy artillery. What the generals and the commanders had to consider as they were trying to go through. And this is why it took so long to break out of Normandy. General Montgomery, you are just too thorough. Well, they've all gone to ground. The Panzer IV is going to keep firing, but those 3 infantry sections, they are not going to be accomplishing much until that artillery dies down. Now up here, they're 3-inch mortars. If you notice there, another tank that can't move. These tanks are getting their tracks blown off. They're getting their tracks fouled in the hedgerows. This is just crazy. If I were playing Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa, man, the logistics guys would not be happy. I am causing the Wehrmacht a lot of money. But if you see a lot of bodies on the ground, a lot of suppression, we're slowly moving forward. And I'm putting a second tank up. It's out of the artillery kill zone. Hopefully it's machine gun and at 75, it can start making some moves. And I'm hoping by deploying it a little bit south, it'll be out of any sort of Piat fire or anti-tank shenanigans. I don't want it to get ambushed. I've already got 2 disabled tanks. I really don't want any surprises and one to get destroyed. There's men hiding in those houses, and the British, they just defend so well. If they want to hunker down, use their artillery... Churchill. And already, I've learned my lesson. That Churchill, if it's facing forward, I'm going to try to smoke out in front and then just get that Panzer IV out of there. Unfortunately, even with the 75... they're not going to take that front armor. If you saw in the last game, I had real trouble with that. I panicked, tried to get the Panzer IV out, and the Churchill just blasted right through. I do have a surrender from all those heavy mortars, from having the other Panzer IV lay down some machine gun fire, and this one has an AT team attack. If you look, those trenches are far away. They must be firing from them or the building. Deployed smoke, but another attack. Just trying to get him out of there. You'll notice I learned my lesson. I told him to turn around once, run once, and I'm not going to keep pushing my luck. That's always the better move. It takes a minute, especially too close. Luckily, I didn't throw another track. Notice that it's just better in general to be more conservative with orders. Let them play out a little bit. There is an order delay. It's not as bad as like command ops, but more calm. That's fine. And there, I'm just trying to get his facing going. Movement doesn't want to work. Sometimes you got to play with facing. A lot of smoke, but you'll see. Shell just came in there. I got to have him turn around. Got to have him put that frontal armor forward and get far back enough that the Churchill will either move off or reconsider. And here, he does not want to respect facing. I'm just going to have to hit defend. Make him turn there, but he's out of the AT fire. He's okay for now. Same with this guy. I'm going to put him there and more damage. Churchill's smoked. This is rough. I mean, we're moving up, and we've torn up their infantry. They have a couple sections either giving up or basically going to ground and not doing anything. But I have one panzer stuck in the bush, one panzer that lost its tracks, and this one down here doesn't seem to want to move. He's having some issues right now. Must have taken a Churchill hit, but he is green. The Churchill is now diagonal enough. He has an angle. I'm going to see if he can counterfire. I'm setting him to defensive because sometimes I feel like if they're in defensive, they will shoot better. And with his rear armor facing, I just have to hope for the best. He's on his own. I only have one Panzer IV that can move, but I'm going to move some infantry up and try to push. If I can take this middle line right here, I can have better deployment options moving forward. And these guys, minor wounds, but they're scared. You can see some 3-inch mortar shells. It's a tough fight. This game is hectic and it's fast. We're only about 10 minutes in, almost 11, and multiple tanks on my side immobilized. They already have infantry surrendering. And looking at the morale, there is a big German morale advantage. I have to remind myself to look at that every once in a while, especially when I feel down that I've had so many tanks get immobilized. And if you look, firing backwards with his rear armor, and I tinkered with it. I made him shoot again, but he hit the Churchill. And now Churchill is done. It's smoking, and the Allies immediately request a truce. They don't want to fight anymore. They lost one of their heavy hitters, and I think I'm going to take it pretty soon. I just want to try to get 1 or 2 more points. So I want to get this bend in the road. I'm going to slowly push up. If I can get something, I can get something. If I can't, that's fine. But if I can get some flags on the flanks, I'll have better victory positions, better deployment, and that's the best I can hope for. I've done a lot of damage to the British, and as soon as I take that sunken road, yep, we're all good up here. I think I'll call it. Their morale is so low that I'm pretty confident I can make some good follow-ups. And nope, didn't even have to take it. The British are done. So I get extra VPs. I'll have better position. That is amazing. Casualties, I also come out on top despite all the tracked vehicles. So thank you guys for watching. If you're enjoying this series, please like, comment, subscribe. I will be continuing the Let's Play of Close Combat. And as always, stay interested and pumped up about history, and I will see you guys in the next video.